Espresso. Bravo 6 actual. Yep, I know. I know it's a new hat. I'll be near your position shortly, 3rd of June. But you already knew that, didn't you, you cheeky bastard? Look, we're looking to add new weapons. We need a weapons expert to add to the squad. All right, someone who knows the ins and outs of all that gear. And I'm thinking that you could be a good fit. Now get to work on some new loadouts for the boys. Light on the explosives. We've been running quiet. Behind enemy lines here in Verdansk. Catch Mr. Z while he's catching Z's. Stay moving. Tango's in the AO. Price out.
I'm not gonna lie, I think that's probably one of the coolest things that I could have ever opened up my email to today, and I think that that might even be a new resume point, that I got called a cheeky bastard by Captain John Price himself. But as Price said, Season 4 right around the corner, and as we round into that weekend here, the final one of the current Season 3, I want to take some time to let you know about some changes that happened today, as well as some things that you can expect for the launch of Season 4 in terms of changes upcoming with the next update. So, that said, let me know your thoughts down below. Is there anything in particular that you're hoping to see change, any adjustment you think needs to be made? Whatever it is, let me know. Make sure that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare and Warzone content on a daily basis, especially as we round into Season 4. But that said, let's talk about some changes. First, let's talk about the stuff that we can get out of the way as of today. What happened here just a few hours ago? The big ticket item is that of DUOS was finally added within Warzone. The final playlist that we were missing for quite some time and was teased at the very beginning of Season 3 finally made its way over. A lot of people thought that it was just going to be maybe Season 4 at that point, since we didn't see it up until, well, today, but it was finally added in here. So you can grab your best friend, the one that you and them are always carrying that third in trios, and you can just slay out on the war zone with your bro. Now, it might be a little bit preemptive or premature to come to a full-on consensus of it, but from the games that I played earlier today, it seemed like the lobbies were pretty good. I don't know if that's an indicator of just everybody jumping on, so then, therefore, the matches are better. It didn't seem as sweaty as, say, quads, but also not as campy as, say, solos. One thing, though, that I definitely did notice is that once you get into those later portions of the game where you are one of the last teams alive, it's a really big zone for a very small number of teams and a very small number of players. For the most part, around the average of Wave 3, there were like 25 players left in the game, and if you don't know, there's 8 total zones that you can end up occupying within Warzone before that just gas closes in. And the one game that Immortal and I played, before the second zone even finished closing, we were already at 25 players. That is a lot of open space for not a lot of players. So just be conscious of that. That'll be something you run into. Though the one thing that, curiously, now that I think about after talking about duos is, I do wonder now what will be the flagship game mode within Season 4, because we saw that quads was Season 3's, Warzone launched within Season 2, so that had, of course, trios, and then solos a couple of weeks after. But now with duos being added in within Season 3, I wonder what they're going to do to market Season 4 heavily. I guess we're just a few days away from that answer, but no less, that is something you should jump on and take advantage of. There also was added today a triple threat event, which is double XP for not only just your overall rank, but also double weapon XP and also double tier progression for your battle pass. So if you have not ranked up to 155 just yet and gotten that Fugitive Scar variant, if you haven't finished your battle pass, gotten a tier 100, and all the subsequent rewards there with that just yet, you still have time and a little bit of a boost to do so. This will be the final time of Season 3, obviously, to do that, and also one cool part is that it's an extended one as well. This triple threat event, if you want to call it that, is going to go until Tuesday, June 2nd at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Wednesday, June 3rd at 2 a.m. Eastern. Normally, these end up finishing up around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday, so not only do you get another 24 hours on top of that, but you get a little bit more as well. Now, this is also when the season will change over, when we'll see the downloads start to roll out for Title Update 1.22 as well, which will be that Season 4 update that you need to jump into Modern Warfare once again. But you have extended time here to end up ranking up and finishing your stuff within Season 3. Now, one also curious change that happened today, and this is really just minor, it's one thing though that I noticed when checking all of my stuff out here with this, is that they actually moved the Battle Pass tab on that main menu. Previously it was between the barracks and the store, but now it's actually in between the weapons and the operators. So shifted to the left by a few tabs, but interesting change. Not really one that I saw coming, but a change that you may have noticed as well. Let's talk about some changes that we can expect to see within Season 4's update. Stuff that's been confirmed by the Trello board, some stuff that's been worked on from the official Infinity Ward side of things and announced in some capacity, and then also some things that I really do hope to see change, or at least fixed out, but we don't really have too much confirmation at the moment. A lot of this stuff is more so technical at this point. The bigger stuff of what I'm hoping to see change, though, we'll talk about in just a second, though, is a little bit bigger that you may have actually been affected by also. In terms of technical changes, we end up seeing that some operators do not appear in the exfil sequence within Warzone. If you end up winning, that helicopter will come in and pick you up. Sometimes there is a bug where players don't necessarily see their character models come through. We also see that as of update 1.21, there's been some screen tearing within Warzone that you may have noticed, and that's being worked on and should be fixed out as the next update. The Season 3 emblem for Max Completionist, getting all your officer challenges done, that's been something that's been confirmed to have another round of its, I guess, tuning pass, if you will, where it should hopefully fully fix it and award properly. I saw some people on my friends list have the animated calling card for the 100% completionist, but I've also, in that same time since I've seen that, seen other people saying that, hey, I still haven't gotten mine. So while it seems like it has recently just gotten a tuning pass that awards it to some players, doesn't seem like everybody who has done that just yet has gotten it. So I'd expect, with of course Season 3 coming to a close, that to be fully implemented and fully rewarded to players come Season 4. Additionally, it was mentioned that there would be a visibility fix for name tags on Rust. There also is an issue where pre-match countdowns, players can actually sometimes move around, run around, get over into the enemy spawn on a small enough map and stuff like that, where that's a bug that should be getting fixed out as well. But oppositely, there also is something that is being looked at where there's environmental errors after that timer starts, where players won't have the ability to shoot, ADS, and even more, sometimes even being locked in place still. So both ends of that spectrum are being looked into and being fixed out for the next update. Some milsim operators have first-person models not matching properly what they should be, and also there's still a little bit of an issue where that ghost appearing on heartbeat sensor issue is still persisting. It's claimed to be a visual bug where it's a kill cam side of things and the player actually does not see you, but again, that's something we've talked about. That may just be a PR response. It was also something that was supposed to be fixed out within update 1.21, but still seemingly persists, just on a lesser frequency though. Now, there's a handful of other things on their Trello board which is listed as fixes that are coming, but at the same time, a lot of that stuff is still stuff we've talked about before. So either a case of there are very, very rare instances of it popping up again, or it hasn't been cleared off just yet. But talking about some stuff that I think will be coming in terms of changes, and also things that I do hope we'll be seeing a change or a fix coming out, come down to the rest of the stuff here. Honestly, I'm kind of expecting some weapon balancing and weapon tuning passes. Each of the last couple of major title updates, if I'm not mistaken, have had at least one weapon tuned in some regard. The last one actually introduced quite a bit for weapons like the Holger 26, but with a new batch of weapons also on the way with Season 4, it's not out of the realms of possibilities to see some changes coming. One that I've seen a couple of people in the community asking for and also defending their position on is that of the Growl. If you take a look at this thing in Warzone, sometimes you don't even need a sniper rifle because you can beam players at a distance with absolutely no recoil, kitted out properly. That one may be up on the chopping block, but at the same time, I'm not entirely sure if I'd anticipate it, because at that point, you'd also likely need to adjust the M4A1, the MP5, and the other meta weapons also. But we'll end up seeing how that one works out. One thing that I do hope, just for my own personal sanity, is that it fixes the no friends error whenever you try and join up on a player that's on your friends list. And I get it. I might not have friends Call of Duty, but you don't need to tell me that. Come on, man. That's a little bit of a low blow, isn't it? But jokes aside, that's an issue that I think is born out of being idle on a menu screen for so long, and then when you open it back up, you end up seeing that it says no friends. This is something that to fix it, you have to reboot your game or restart the application, but at the same time, that's kind of just a pain and a hassle that shouldn't necessarily need to happen. So I'd anticipate a fix coming for that as well. One big one that I really do hope comes is that of PC setting resets. For those that are unaware or don't play on PC, obviously this wouldn't be something that crosses over into your realm of experience, but for PC players, there are plenty of people, and maybe even universally, where every time you boot up the game, some specific changes default back to what they were before you change them. The big ones being the display mode and the render resolution. A lot of the times it defaults back to full screen, even though you want to get your mouse out of there, you want to end up playing full screen borderless, and so on and so forth. Additionally, that render resolution affects actually how the game looks, so that's a big one as well. But every time you boot up the game, these end up changing, making it again just a nuisance and something that is an inconvenience you really shouldn't have to deal with. And finally, the last thing I'm hoping to see changed and fixed out is that error with the Mudrobber Easter egg tracking, that MP7 blueprint you end up getting for opening up Bunker 11. For those that are unaware, if you ended up opening Bunker 11, of course, you get that new MP7 blueprint, which is a really cool reward, I think, here for that. But the issue comes into play where if you were part of the first squads that were able to do this within, I believe, probably the 12 to 16 hour mark after the update went live a week and a half ago with 1.21, the in-game markers saying that you completed it never actually saved or tracked, so you did not get it on your account. The only other workaround right now is to do it all over again and re-unlock it. So if you're like me and still haven't received it, I'm hoping to see that one fixed out with the next update as well. But that's the changes that we know of as of the next update, and of course we have those more obvious things like, of course, your Season 3 ranks and officer challenges resetting, your battle pass resetting. We end up seeing we're likely going to have those mastery calling cards, but for now, that's some of the stuff we haven't really touched on that I wanted to give you guys some clarity on as to what you may be seeing with their outcome in the very near future. But anyways, that's where we're going to wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Again, if you could change one thing here for Season 4, what are you hoping to see change, and perhaps why? As well, if you are new to the channel, though, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We get you covered here on the channel, so if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected with us on YouTube. Practically live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.